Special guest joining me, Daxx Nielsen from Cheap Trick and the Nielsen Trust. Dax, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Double T. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me. So, it's not the typical summer for a Daxx Nielsen and Cheap Trick. So what have you been up to?
I've been trying to raise a couple kids and get to know my wife.
Now, are they ready for you to hit the road again, or do they like you being home?
I think they like it. It was a nice, slow adjustment. Usually we're not very busy in the spring anyways, early January, February. So that's kind of when this all went down. And so I just never really went back to work,
Now, how often are you playing the drums? Do you play the drums every day or every other day, or how's that work for you?
Well, I've at my home currently, I've only got an electronic drum set, and I was doing that every day, every night when the kids would go to bed for the first few months, and then it just started to feel kind of like hitting the tennis ball against the garage. You're not actually playing against anybody, so it kind of lost its love. I didn't lose my love for it. It just kind of became the thing where, like, well, I'm not playing any gigs, and these aren't real drums, so I kind of gave my arms a break.
Yeah, it must be nice because, when you're out on the road playing just about every night, do you get sore? Like an athlete, or are you used to it by now?
A bit of both. I think you eventually, a few weeks into a tour, you're definitely in pro shape. But for the first couple of nights, you definitely feel it the next day. But I've been playing since I was 12, and I'm 40 now. So I think at this point, no real loss of muscle or anything like that. It feels pretty good. I'm looking forward to playing this week.
Yeah, you haven't played a show in a while. So what kind of strategy you got going on to get ready for this show coming up?
Well, we start rehearsals tonight. We don't want to suck, so we're going to try to rehearse 3 or 4 times before we go out. We got the Nielsen Trust together back in March, late February, started rehearsing, and then we did 2 shows of a 14-show tour and had to pull the plug.
And
so
the thing about it was, it's a new project, but, from all reviews, you guys, got raving reviews from everybody that saw those 2 shows.
Oh, it was unreal. It was unreal. We did, probably 2.5 hours each night, if not longer. It was a mixture of Cheap Trick songs, Harmony Riley songs, and Miles Nielsen songs, and a lot of just fun banter between Rick and Miles on the mics, telling stories about growing up, or, Rick would tell stories about how he wrote the songs that we were playing. It was just really cool.
I'm talking to Daxx Nielsen, and the Nielsen Trust is playing September 25th. It's a Friday night out at the Rivet Stadium with Blackberry Smoke. So for people that aren't too familiar with the Nielsen Trust, give a little story behind it.
Basically, my brother Miles and I had a band called Harmony Riley, which probably everybody listening to this right now knew of. Local Rockford band that kind of toured nationally and eventually. And so we played together for a bunch of years, and then Rick and I have been playing together for a bunch of years. And we had some time off, Cheap Trick did, in February and March. And so we just said, why don't we all play together for once? And Miles plays, great guitar and sings wonderfully. And then his wife, Kelly, also a great singer. So between the 2 of them, they were able to try to nail Robin's parts vocally, which is really hard to do.
Yes, it is.
So it was just fun. It was a chance for Miles to play with our dad in a band, and it was just a way for us to go out and do something different. And, Miles has had his own band for a decade or plus. Obviously, Rick's had Cheap Trick for decades, maybe a century and by now. And, it was just a chance to go out and have some fun as a family and really, like I said, just kind of mix it up, tell some stories versus just going out and playing the same. We love our band, but it was a chance to do something together and do something a little different.
And when I talked to Miles the last time, I said it's kind of like your own version of the Partridge Family.
Exactly. It was fun because we tried to only play deep cuts of Cheap Trick stuff. Obviously we play "I Want You to Want Me" or "Surrender," but we try to do stuff that Cheap Trick doesn't do typically. Songs that Miles and I liked growing up that Rick forgot about, her, that kind of thing. Maybe some more of the ballad stuff that, Kelly could take the vocals on. So it was really cool.
I'm talking to Daxx.
It was just fun for the crowds, too, because, we're playing smaller venues, so it was really intimate. We Rick could ask questions of the crowd without using the mic. Just talk to the people right in front of him.
That's awesome. Yeah, nice little intimate show. I'm talking to Daxx Nielsen from Cheap Trick and the Nielsen Trust. They're playing with Blackberry Smoke on September 25th at Rivet Stadium. So let's talk about this show a little bit. Obviously, there hasn't been a lot of shows going on, so it's nice to have some live music for everybody. Do you know what the setup's going to be like for the show?
Yes. There's a few different scenarios. On the field at the baseball stadium, there are 6 foot by 6 foot boxes that you can purchase. I think either 2 tickets or 4 tickets for. So you kind of maybe come with some friends, and then there's 6 foot boxes on each side of those boxes that separate you from the next 6 foot box. And then there will be some seating in the stands, which they're separating by every other row or something, to keep social distancing.
Right.
And once you get to your seat, you can take your mask off, but they're really trying to practice, safe social distancing and practicing all the responsible ways of keeping everybody safe.
Very.
Once you get to your seat, you can take your mask off and be comfortable and be with your people.
Well, maybe some people, their voices aren't very good. Maybe we keep it on so we don't hear them as loud as they're singing along, right?
Yeah, or their breath's not very good either.
Blackberry Smoke, they're a cool band. They played at the Coronado, like a year ago or something. Talk about them a little bit.
Oh, great band out of Georgia. I think they're out of Atlanta.
Yep.
Southern rock-ish, I would say. It's like the next generation of Allman Brothers. Maybe not quite as jammy as Allman Brothers, but definitely good guitar playing. Really, all great guitar players, cool long beards. Good songs. Really cool attitude, really great guys. Like I said, they're kind of like the new generation of Southern rock.
And there's another band playing too, right?
Yeah, a band called the Wild Feathers out of Nashville. I think they're based in Nashville now. They're kind of a band that I used to live with a guy in LA that he started the band, and then when I moved to Nashville, my roommate was the current drummer. So this band has kind of been in my life for a long time now. So I know all those guys really well.
Now, you guys, Blackberry Smoke is headlining and the Nielsen Trust is opening. And you guys were, when you were planning on the tour a while back, you were planning these longer shows. Now you're going to have to cut the set a little bit. That's going to be even harder to pick songs. I
know. Yeah, we're starting rehearsals tonight, so we're going to see what we remember as a band, and, what comes across good. And then, I think we have a 50-minute set, 50, so almost an hour.
Oh, see, that'd be good. Yeah, that'll be fun.
We'll be able to nail about 10 songs or something like that, hopefully.
Nice. Very, very good. Now, obviously there's probably a lot of stuff up in the air, but Cheap Trick, have you guys been doing anything with music? Have you been recording or anything? Or just kind of taking the downtime as it is?
I'm kind of taking the downtime. We actually have an album that was supposed to come out in the spring of this year, and then we were going to tour all summer on that album. But obviously we didn't tour, so I think the label and management all said, let's not release the album just yet, because you don't want to put an album out and then we don't tour until next summer, and then you've had an album forever. So there's talk of us recording. We've got more songs, we always do, but it's a matter of those guys being comfortable, because we have to travel,
right?
And I don't think everybody's still comfortable on an airplane or even driving across the country to go get to a recording studio. So, those guys have been together since 1973 or 4, so I think they're probably enjoying this time away from the whole thing.
Yeah, you think about that. They probably haven't had a very long, significant time off in all of those years. So to be able to have that and enjoy and kick back and kind of reflect on everything, I think that's a good thing for them.
Yeah, I've been in the band 10 years now, and I can't ever remember a time where we had more than 3 weeks off, 3 or 4 weeks ever,
That's insane. It's a crazy deal, that's for sure. I'm talking to Daxx Nielsen, and I got to ask you: have you been cooking up a lot of tacos? You're the taco king, or are you ordering out, or how are you doing the taco thing during this whole thing?
We did a lot of home cooking for a long time. My wife and I still aren't eating in restaurants. We will carry out maybe the occasional outdoor seating, but you get to work on your culinary skills while you're home. You get to cook what you want. It's been great.
That's awesome. And, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on September 25th, the Nielsen Trust with you and your brother Miles and your dad Rick and your sister-in-law Kelly. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day of live music for everybody here in Rockford.
It's going to be great. I think everybody needs live music again. Sports have come back, and you can actually watch them on TV. You can't go see it, but at least you can still watch it. And I think, everybody misses concerts. It's part of life,
Oh, definitely. Daxx, thank you so much for taking the time. Always great chatting with you, and look forward to seeing you on September 25th at Rivet Stadium.
I can't wait. We'll see everybody there.
It's Daxx Nielsen on Rockford's Home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle.